Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. It's doing a setup play and review for the game Caldera Park, designed by Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling, and artistry by Annika Heller. This is a game for 1 to 4 players, takes 30 to 40 minutes in play, and this is our Marmot going to our first player, which is going to go off to the side for the time being. I'm just going to be setting this up as a sort of solo board, but this is for the multiplayer explanation of the game. So there we go. We're also now going to take out a scoreboard, so our player aid, to talk about how we're going to score up later on. And we're now going to take out one of these lovely little boxes. These are tuck boxes. This is a plastic-free game, and then play out with one of these characters. They all have identical pieces in them, and they're all basically unique combinations. So let's play as, I don't know, the moose. He's only just about fitting here very tightly. Let me move this off to one side. And the aim of the game is to get the most points. This is very much like bingo. So you're going to tip all your pieces out, and then you are going to sort them based on type. So whilst I'm sorting, please make sure you head through to any comments you want us to give over on YouTube. Make sure if you're watching this as a short, you're watching the full video on YouTube as well. And also, if you head through to the description on YouTube, you can support the channel via Patreon. You can head through to Linktree. There are occasional competitions, but are time sensitive, they are disappearing. Also, head through to Instagram, so follow along there. Over 4,000 followers at the time of recording. All of these backs, by the way, are just so you can tell whose is who's at the end of the game, but you always will be playing on your own player board. Head through to check out my various playlists as well, such as my SPIEL.digital playlist. You'll find many games by these designers on there too. In fact, I don't know if I have got one, but I'm looking forward to a playlist as well for these designers, both individually and perhaps collectively. Other games by them on the channel include Adventureland and Sanssouci. I think that's by both of them. Also, Michael Kiesling did Azul, and in fact, he just did Sanssouci alone. But I have also got Caven and other games by them too. Palace of Career, I've got the second edition now at the Spiel Essen Fair, so check out my Spiel Essen playlist. So you've got these tokens, you're now going to chuck out 7. So this is the shared board that everyone's going to play with, and you're going to randomly place these out, doesn't matter where you place them, because we're going to decide what they do in a second, where we're looking to ultimately decide which territory these various animals are going to go in. And by the way, the setting is in North American national parks, where we've got these geysers or geysers, we've got waterfalls, we've got river, we've got forest, savanna or desert, and mountainous terrain and a volcano. So we've got all our various pieces out. You're now going to chuck out a few. So we happen to have, in this case, we have an eagle and a goat by a watering hole. Everything happens to be on 3 watering holes. We've got some buffalo or bison. We've got some more goats, a couple of bears. In this case, I've got 3 bears now. I've got myself a bear, a moose, and a bison around a watering hole, and a wolf and a bison around a watering hole. So everything else will go out of shot, but that's basically be used in the next round. And if we're starting, we're the first person to pick one of these animals. But before doing these, we're placing out our winter tiles at the bottom of the board too. They're going to be just out of shot, but I'm just doing this so you can clearly see what I'm doing. So in this case, what we're going to do is take one of those and place them face up. Anything else, by the way, on these winter tokens are going to go back to the box. Now, just make sure that when you do have one of your winter tokens, one of them happens to be one of the your yellow one, which is basically a sunrise token. What that represents is something that works for all of them. So basically, it's always going to be, you could say, sunny in Philadelphia is one way of putting it. And presently, I can't seem to see it, but I'll show you how it looks in a second. So, how is this game going to work? So what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle these up and make sure we've only got a few visible. And then what we're going to do is randomize and place them out like this. And then we're going to reveal one of them. So we're going to reveal one of them, and it's going to be this one, and we can choose where it's going to go. So let's say we start it over here. This means at the end of the game, if any bears or wolves are next to this particular space and any watering holes, they're going to be flipped face down. They will not count towards scoring, so that's very bad. You do not want that, because obviously you are going to be losing out on some points, and that's something to be aware of. Now, I'm very quickly just trying to find that summer watering hole piece, because it's an integral part of the game. Now, apart from that, what you're then going to do is, if I'm starting, I'm going to see, well, I've got loads of buffalo, and I'm going to think about chucking out maybe some bears or, bears. So I'm going to say, I know, bears are going to be in the forest. So everyone's going to take anything which happens to be a bear. You can see everyone's stuff, and it's going to go in a forest like this. Now, why do I put it here? Well, I don't want to be putting it here because there's a bear symbol, so it's very important I avoid where my bears are. Now, everyone else is going to take a turn in turn order. So now the next person is going to pick a tile. Just to let you know, that is the sunny tile I'm trying to look for as well. In fact, it's over here. That's what I can find. So now everybody is then going to go around in turn order, like I said. So in this case, we are now going to look through and see what we want to pick next. And somebody else goes, I don't know, they'll do a wolf or a waterfall. So look, do I have any wolves? I do. It's got to go on a waterfall. Well, I could put it here, but in this case I don't want to because it's going to get flip turn at the end of the game, so I'll chuck it over here. And now, just say it's my turn now, I'm now thinking, well, I've got some bears. Why do I want bears, by the way? Let me show you. Well, I'm now wanting to chuck out, let's say, a waterfall. So waterfall on anything. This one happens to be a waterfall on anything, and I'm going to chuck it here. Why do I want to chuck it here? Because this is how multipliers work. Let's talk about the board. So in this case, if you happen to cover over all of your waterfalls, you're going to get 4 points. If you cover over all of your mountain, 7, forest 7, desert 7, forest 7. All of your rivers, 8 points. If you surround a geyser, you can never go on a geyser, you can never place a tile on a volcano, and you can never place a regular animal tile on one of these mountain spots, one of these like weather spots. So then what's going to happen, or bad weather spots? If you cover over any areas for only the animals, so for example for a goat, you're going to get the amount of the animals you have times by about watering holes. So right now, I have a score of 3 bears, 4 bears, times by 2. So I get 8 points. In this case, I have got 2 bison. So 2 bison times by 2 watering holes is 4 points. But again, the game's going to keep on going on unless, once all these tokens are gone, what we do is we take away the token of our choice. I could place that up here, which again acts as a multiplier for any animals there. So I now get 2 bison is 3 bison times 2 is 6 points. Or I go, well, let's just chuck up this one. And in this case, I got lucky. There were no wolves. Well, there were wolves, but there were no bison, and there happened to be no moose, but there are moose. In this case, at the end of the game, that'll be face down and that'll be face down, which is very bad because, of course, I had some bison on it too. So that's a really bad tile to come up for me. So in this case, knowing that that's there, maybe at this point I do play a safety tile, knowing that, I don't know, at least that combination is not going to come up again, but it is something to be aware of. There's a potential that 2 of these tiles could come up, which happen to have your animal on it because they're on twice, but 3 of the tiles not played with. You're going to keep playing until all 35 tiles are played, so you're playing a 5-round game because there's 7 animals, and of course it's 5 rounds, but each time you're playing you're having to think, well, I want to do this because I happen to have a bear and I really want to place it in the mountain, let's say. Obviously I don't want to, I probably want to place it here, which happens to be next to a geyser. However, if you want to play something like this and you've got no animals, so in this case, let's say I haven't got any goats, or I've got eagles, I've got everything, and then I haven't got any moose. So if I say I'm going to place a moose on a river and I've got nothing up here, I can take anything I like. And I don't know, maybe I want to chuck this out here. I probably want to stick out more bison at this point. So I'll probably do that and then start getting some goats down here. So that's the bingo element of it. Now, the way it's going to work is, again, if somebody else does not have a moose or whatever it is that you've just called out, then they can again pick anything they like. Very beautiful artwork. I think this game's great. 8 out of 10. Very simple to play, lovely to play, and again, a bit perilous, of course, which is what people might worry about, the fact that you can lose some points over here too. Again, simple score pad, and it happens to be double-sided, which is great. And Deep Print Games do a digital app as well. Now, you can flip it over, and the way it's going to work here is, again, it's brick crazy. You've got them a lot more dangerous looking weather patterns. Again, you could go straight in the centre with that lovely sunny one. But you never know, maybe you want to go somewhere else. So maybe it's a different river you want to go for. And that's it. Every space apart from 7 will be covered. And that is the game. That has been Caldera Park by Pegasus Spieler. Check out my Pegasus Spieler playlist as well. But that's it for now. Back to the table.